Oh, what wonderful timing. I love you. So I want to speak to you, and I do speak to you often. And my desire is to spend time with you. Source energy.
Yeah.
Abraham. And so I often don't feel any of those other desires. You were describing, Esther saying to Abraham, I just love the manifestation. And
Well, what you want is satisfaction, and what you want is to hear the call and to be in the right place at the right time. We'll tell you what you want.
Thank you.
And we're going to speak from the perspective that you held coming in and that has continued ever since you got here. You want to be a leading edge creator, and you want to be an extension, a steady, consistent extension of source energy, and you want to be in concert with what source knows.
Yes.
And you want little, if none, but you really want some little deviation from that alignment, because you do want some step one defining moments, and you want awareness of where you are in the process, and you want to feel alive. You want to be hungry a little so that the satisfaction of eating is great. You want awareness of creation. You mostly want connection with your source energy. And the reason that you want that so much, and it is a credit to your rather steady connection, the reason you want that so much is because your inner being wants that so much. Now, hear what we mean by that. You're not the only aspect of this co-creative dance who is eager about new experience. Your inner being is too. You're not the only aspect of your co-creative being who enjoys contrast and new decisions. In other words, your inner being is enjoying all of this expansion too. So when your inner being is as involved on a moment-to-moment basis as it is with someone like you, a good deal of what you think you want is you picking up on what your inner being wants about what you want. Does that make sense to you? Your inner being really is enjoying your leading edge perspective that is providing for your inner being this advancement, this evolution, this expansion, this more. We'd like you to know that when you are at your most enthusiastic, that's when you'll have your valve opened the widest, or your, in a vibrational sense, your tuner is tuned the finest, and you're allowing that broad non-physical intention to flow through you into this moment. We touched on it earlier. We're going to go to a new place that you haven't heard or known before, not in the way that you're going to hear it here. We've been saying that every moment is a manifestation. In every moment something's manifesting. The manifestation always includes this basis. It's you and you rendezvousing with whatever else you're rendezvousing with. So if you've got the you and you part already rendezvoused, and then you rendezvous with a moment in time, which includes other people or experiences or situations, that moment in time is going to be infinitely more rewarding and satisfying to you than if you're rendezvousing with them while you are split from your own inner being. So we give this to you by way of saying to you that you can never separate yourself from your source, and that in fact everything that you've been living has caused your source to be more in sync with who you are in this incarnation, who you are in this moment in time, who you are in your environment. In other words, your inner being is so intricately, intimately, specifically aware of the expansion that you have caused your inner being through this lifetime. Hear those words? When your inner being feels exhilaration about something and you are on the same wavelength to feel it, that's just the best that it gets. We want you to realize that yeah, you're in these physical bodies, but you didn't come alone. You dragged all of us along with you. And that what our promise to you has always been as non-physical energies is that we would continue to hold the vibrational frequency of what you're asking for, and then your promise to the equation was that you would seek it out, you would find the new, you would launch it forward, and that you would find a way back to it. Now hear this. We like so much giving this to you. You could be doing step one, you do it all day every day, launching rockets of desire. We get them, we receive them, we applaud them, we know them, we understand them, we hold the vibrational frequency of them, and law of attraction assembles the cooperative components, and we experience the expansion. So in our most selfish of perspectives, we got what we came for to a certain extent, but you're maybe still hanging out here in the sifting and sorting and launching rockets of desire mode. But when you come home and you let yourself be the in the moment receiver of the manifestation, it just doesn't get any better than that. So people come into these bodies and they fulfill all of their reasons for being without even knowing they're doing it. Often they live contrasting lives, they ask for more, their inner beings take the newness, experience the evolution, get it all ready for the next ones that'll be born. Getting the sense of this? And sometimes the people who contributed the most to the expansion don't catch up with it in this life experience because they're so practical. They're so involved in the seeing it and hearing it and smelling and tasting it and touching it. So they don't feel the value, the satisfaction. They don't receive for themselves the personal human self. They don't receive. They don't even know what value that they have added. But they've added. And when they make their reemergence back into non-physical, they'll feel the fullness of it fully. But it's so good when you let yourself have it while you're still in this body. It's so good when you are consciously aware, when you understand the value of the sifting and you're happy to be in the contrast, not railing against it, but seeing it as a collection of data which matters, and then coming to your personal conclusion and feeling your convictions about it and launching your rockets of desire, sometimes more consciously than others. And then your inner being gathers the cooperative components and then feeds you a steady stream of look over there and look over there and come on over here and follow this and follow this impulse. There's a clue, there's a clue, there's a clue. Here it is, here it is, here it is. And sometimes you're oblivious and sometimes you're tuned in. But when you get tuned in, when you have made the statement to yourself and you really mean it, nothing is more important than that I feel good. Nothing is more important than my alignment with source. I'm not only going to be out here on the leading edge and find the new things to desire. I'm not only going to be the one on the front lines for the expansion of the evolution of the entire universe. I'm not only going to do that. I'm going to launch the rockets. My inner being's going to tend to them, and they'll gestate in that vibrational vortex or womb, and they'll grow and become, and they'll be ready for my realization of them. And while they're getting ready for me, I'm going to be getting ready for them. I'm going to be playful. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be uplifting. I'm going to be warm. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be more complimentary, less complaining. I'm going to be more optimistic, less pessimistic. I'm going to sleep more. I'm going to take better care of myself. I'm going to be nice to myself. I'm going to do more of the things that feel good to me. I'm going to understand the value of the satisfaction factor. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to put my feet in the water. I'm going to sit in the sand. I'm going to put my face to the sun. I'm going to eat the food that tastes good, and I'm going to be with the people who thrill me to be with them. I'm no longer paying some sort of a price that someone else who is human has established for me. Instead, I'm following the impulses that come forth from within, and I'm going to love myself into alignment with the fullness of who I am, and I'm going to experience the satisfaction of that alignment and that masterful co-creation with the energies that create worlds while I'm here in this body. And I will teach through the clarity of my example that happiness is where it's at.
And that's that connection, that starting with being with you.
Well, that's what it feels like. We've talked for a long time about what's the next logical step to feel the next logical best that you can feel in this moment in time. And we've had a lot of conversations about how it's got to feel like the next logical step. If you have some big desire, sometimes people will sit in the hot seat and they'll say, oh, I want this so badly. And they mean that literally. I feel bad when I want it. because I'm nowhere near believing it, and I yearn for it in such a powerful way, and my life has helped me to know that I want it, but I'm in pain not having it. We say you can't get there from there. In other words, you got to want it so goodly. You got to feel the satisfaction of it, you see. And so we've talked about all the ways to do that. You've got it. You've got it. And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? It's supposed to be fewer and fewer and fewer. You're getting stirred up right here.
Thank you. This is my first Abraham workshop, and I'm learning so much, so thank you. I'm wondering, in my career, I have a job that I love. I'm very satisfied there, and I feel successful. I've had an opportunity recently to have a change in direction, and it feels like it's an opportunity that I would like to take. When I think about both jobs, there are things I love about both. And so I'm wondering, how do you choose when I feel like the new job was manifested, and I'm not sure, how do you choose between the two?
Well, we appreciated your opening words to us about being new to this in a sense, and how much you felt like you'd come to know even today. So we want to say that had you been here sort of knowing what you're knowing, as this new experience came into your awareness, you would have known as it came along something that you might not know as clearly right now. And what we mean by that is, when you are already consciously following the path of least resistance, which is the same thing as following your feeling of alignment, you really can tell it. In other words, it is something that is very easy to distinguish when you are consciously aware as it is happening. After the fact, it's a little harder to sort out. These are the questions that we would ask of ourselves if we were standing in your physical shoes. Did this opportunity come out of my continual statement of appreciation of how happy I am where I am? Or did this opportunity arise because I was looking for some improvement and complaining about some of the things that weren't as I want them to be?
That's probably what it was.
Because if it came up out of that, then its potential to satisfy is not really the same.
I see.
Now that was easy to sort out, wasn't it?
Wow, well, you put it that way.
Yeah. The optimum state of being is satisfied where I am and eager for more. Now think about that, getting ready to be 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 ready. So if I am practicing satisfaction while open and eager for something more, then the path is just going to continue to unfold, and then it will be as you described what you wanted from this. And now you've acknowledged your own awareness of that. We can tell you that we can feel the vibration of the new opportunity is lopsided. There are a few things that make it look better, and a whole lot of things that it will not be as satisfying as where you are. But you can have all of that. In other words, you just don't have to move right here, right now to there. Just stay in this place of appreciation while you continue to let the contrast help you to refine your intentions. There are a whole lot of you who are so satisfied with where you are in terms of the people you work with, and the freedom that you feel, and the ideas that flow from you, and the respect that you get and give, but you would like more money. And so it's all right for you to want more money, just don't get into a place of dissatisfaction. But if you make money be the thing, and then you're sort of vibrationally railing against what isn't, then you lose your momentum of all of the things that are working, and the slight improvement of the more money is missed, at least for now. That's helpful to a lot of you.
That's helpful. Thank
Really
you
good.
so much.
Really good.
Thank you.